This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we have a Whirlpool washing machine that won't spin and won't agitate. When you set it for spin though, you can hear like a clicking sound but no spin. This is due to a broken motor coupler. So pretty easy to replace it. We're going to pull the machine away from the wall by about 2 to 3 feet. Make sure it's unplugged. And then we're going to lean the machine back against the wall. Lean it back enough where it feels secure, where it's not going to rock forward on you. Because we want to get underneath the machine. You could even put something underneath it like a cinder block to support it. And we're going to be removing the motor. First, we're going to disconnect these wire connectors. There's a modular connector in the front that you just pull off, and then there's these 2 spade connectors that we want to pull off the capacitor, and then there's another modular connector that we pull apart. Some of the machines don't have that last connection. We're going to pull the water pump off by pulling this clip off the bottom. We're going to use our thumb to pry off the one at the top. We're going to pull the pump right off, and then we're going to push it out to the left. I'm going to pull this little metal piece off too that holds it, the clip. I'm going to get this thing out of the way, so I'm going to push it out to the left so that it kind of stays out of the way. So these motor couplers break because the machine gets overloaded. Like people try to wash blankets or they try to wash bathroom mats, and the motor tries to spin the transmission. It can't spin it, and then something has to break, so the motor coupler breaks. It's like a junction between the motor and the transmission. So I pulled off one screw here at the top. I'm removing the clip that holds the upper part of the motor, and then to remove this clip at the bottom that holds the lower part, I'll just pry it off with a standard head screwdriver. The motor's kind of heavy, so use 2 hands to support it, and you're going to pull it towards you and then lift it down off of the transmission. There we go. And here is the new part, the motor coupler for the direct drive washing machine. Pretty cheap, probably get these for under 20 bucks. We're going to put this little fork assembly on the motor. This goes on, there's 2 shafts. It goes on the smaller shaft. I'm going to tap it on there. I'm going to use a socket and then a small hammer to just tap that onto the shaft. I'm going to put the rubber part of the coupler on. I take the other fork. I use a standard head screwdriver to pry off the old one. You can see where it broke here. Just got overloaded and the plastic broke. I'm going to put the new plastic fork on, and then I'm going to tap it in. I'm using just a socket and a small hammer to tap that onto the transmission shaft. And then I just got to put the motor back on. It's a little tricky. We want to line it up. So I pull off this metal connector. So now I'm lifting the motor back onto the transmission plate, and I'm going to try to line up those forks that are on the transmission with the one on the motor. Just take your time. This may take a little while to get it all lined up. Once it's lined up, I'm going to use the top clip. I'm going to put it back into the mounting bracket. As we see here at the bottom, I did that on the top too, and then I push it in to snap it in position. So it's the same procedure, but at the top, I'm going to add that little 1/4 inch screw back in to hold it. Some of them don't have the 1/4 inch screw. And put in this top clip at the top here for the water pump. Then I'm going to push the water pump back onto the shaft. You may have to turn the shaft a little bit to get it to fit back over the water pump or into the water pump. And I'm putting the clip down on top to hold the top of the pump, and then I'll put one on the bottom and I'll push it up until it clicks. So now the pump's back on there. I'll redo my wire connectors. So I'm going to put the spade connectors back on the capacitor. So putting the motor back on is the part that's going to take a while. Just be patient and try to line up the holes on the rubber piece to correspond with the plastic fork. You may have to turn the motor shaft to get it to line up. So I'm going to put this connector back on and then the main connector back on to the motor, push it all the way until it clicks, and then we want to bring the machine back down carefully, slowly, plug it back in, we'll give it a test. There we go.
Oh, I like it.
So back spinning again.
Cool.
And back agitating again. I'm just putting something here to bypass the
You got it.
lid switch. I filled it up with water and had good agitation. Looks normal. These are really good machines. They last a long time. Things that go wrong with these is the lid switch breaks and the motor coupler breaks, but you can avoid that by not overloading it and not letting the lid slam down.
Yeah, we're just making sure.
These are usually called
good,
Whirlpool direct
We're gonna do
drive,
all the
but
stuff,
sometimes
huh?
they'll have the KitchenAid
This is the
name
drain
or
and
the
spin
Kenmore, but they're all really the same machine made by Whirlpool. So we're just testing the drain and the spin function. If the motor coupler is broken, it'll still drain, but it won't spin and it won't agitate. So I hope this has been helpful to you and you get your direct drive machine agitating and spinning again. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.